Previously on Shane Dawson Reloaded. Also, we're gonna find out what Shane and Ryland have been hiding from us this entire time. And if I knew this secret before, I would have supported Shane's decision to prolong the engagement. As we dig into the last episode of the Shane Dawson podcast before Shane and Ryland eloped, we are going to take a few minutes to go through episode 13 before diving into the sip with Ryland and Lizzie and special guest star Shane. Why, you may ask? Well, in this episode, we find out why Shane should have put an indefinite hold on his marriage to Ryland. Red flags all over the place. Hi, my name is Jen, and today we are going to take a special look as we reload the SIP and Shane Dawson podcast. Let's get into it.
Okay, hi, welcome to our Christmas edition of the podcast, which wouldn't be complete without some extra family members.
Yay, yellow.
Chris is okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this movie. It's a Christmas story, but it was one of the first costumes that came up on Amazon when I typed in Christmas costumes. So you're the kid from the Christmas Story who's wearing a bunny outfit. I don't remember it.
Just to note that this was the first time Shane gave Chris a costume that he didn't really care about. I just wanted to make note of that.
He was gifted the bunny. I YouTubed this right before this. I haven't seen the movie. I'm a fraud. But he was gifted it, and then he's like, oh, I don't want to, come on, Mom. I didn't want to wear it, but I like it.
I think it looks cute. And the glasses, they work really well for you. You look really good today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right.
I guess I've seen 2 out of the 4 Christmas movies here, because I don't know what that is, and I have no idea what in the hell you put me in.
You look really good. I did your makeup. I think it looks cute. Your wig looks good.
It's not lost on me how Shane continues to buy outfits for Ryland where he dresses up as a woman. And so I'm going to make note of it now because it's happened a lot already. I cut it out, but Chris said that this was his favorite movie. And it's interesting that, again, he didn't choose to wear that outfit. Instead, Chris wore the bunny outfit. So I think Chris has an issue with dressing up as a woman, which I understand. But it's the fact that Ryland is continuing to do it. And it's something that we already established Shane likes. Nothing else really interesting happened in this episode of the Shane Dawson podcast. But let's go on to the real episode of The Sip where everything went down. And I realized why Shane held off so long on marrying Ryland.
Should I just take my hair down?
No, Lizzie.
Cancel this episode.
No, oh my gosh. It's an important episode. We have Shane, my boyfriend. Do I call him Dawson?
No, we have Shane motherfucking Dawson.
Out here on the podcast.
Out in these streets. Show your boobs, Chris!
Boyfriend?
You were really going to...
Now, who's surprised that Chris is the one that's going to call out Ryland referring to Shane as his boyfriend? Now, I noticed it too.
do it. Yeah, I hate that. I mean, a lot of people give me flack for not calling you my fiance. They get really mad about it. But for some reason, I just hate the term fiance. And I've been in a lot of environments where if somebody is a fiance and I don't refer to them as such, they get mad at me.
I get mad at you.
So I will not take the reverse of that when I don't call your husband your husband.
When you call Joe my boyfriend, I get mad.
Is someone showing their boobs or not?
I can give you a little... Well, you don't want to see mine. They're boring. You see mine every day.
Every day?
Well...
I guess that's true.
Oh, shit. Did we just get demonetized? Don't rub it.
Why?
It's making everyone uncomfortable.
Hey,
except for Chris.
Shane.
Oh no, Liz. She is the vein of my existence.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, wow. So good to be here.
Oh!
Well, I meant that real.
Oh.
It's just weird because I'm sitting on a not real chair in a weird part of the living room that nobody ever sits. So.
That's where I am on your podcast.
That's why the vibe's off.
That's why, yes. Ooh, I feel negative.
That is, so I posted a Q&A on Instagram. I was like, what do you want to know? And a lot of the questions were straight up like, why are you mean to Ryland in the vlogs?
Instead of Ryland standing up and confronting Shane on his own, he's going to use the audience Q&A as a buffer to get out how he truly feels by blaming it on the audience.
And I thought I'd give you an opportunity to air your grievances.
I don't think I mean to you in the vlogs.
I don't think so either, but it's perceived as such. You know that.
Okay, right now I don't know if you guys are trying to get us on a technicality. I'm not sure how these two interact in their vlogs. I don't keep up with the vlogs, but I know on the podcast, Shane Dawson's podcast, yes, Shane is mean to you, Ryland. So are you playing word games as far as vlog and podcast, or are you going to sit there and pretend that Shane isn't mean to you on his podcast? That's what I want to know right now.
I think because me and you have a relationship where we like to poke and be mean to each other, but we love each other.
These two are playing games, y'all. These two are playing games. Like, we don't know the difference between a couple poking at each other and these vile interactions that these two have. We know the difference. But you know what? I'm going to let you cook for a little bit before I roast you.
I can't see, also, if people are watching, I can't see him because the tripod's blocking him. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that was not a dig at you.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I can see you perfectly.
There goes Shane again, treating Chris with delicate gloves, which is easy to tell, especially in comparison to how he treats and talks to Ryland. But I don't know, I guess they want us all to ignore this. What's going on before our eyes?
We can fix it. We can adjust the angle so you can see me. If you want, if you haven't had enough of me.
Yes.
I can do it.
Yeah, just move it over there.
Chris, you just sit pretty.
You just relax, Chris.
Relax, Chris.
All of y'all are creepy. I would have ran out of that house screaming. Screaming.
I don't think I'm mean. Do you think I'm mean?
No, not at all.
I think you're particularly kind on the vlog as a fan and a friend. I've noticed.
Lizzie just told me she felt obligated to watch the vlogs as though it was a job.
It's literally in the contract he made me sign.
Lizzie's not mean either.
Lizzie's not mean? Okay, now I know you're lying.
None of us are mean.
I think
Chris
some
is
of
mean.
your humor can be perceived as mean if people don't have like good friends in their life. Sorry.
Whoa.
Whoa is right, Shane. Ryland, even Shane knows you're going too far. I did a video about Destiny and his girlfriend, Melina, and how in real life, when you see couples arguing, you should stay out of it. And these two are proving my point the same way Destiny and Melina proved my point. Ryland is sitting here saying how Shane is not mean and it's just his sense of humor. The only reason why we're saying, oh, I just remembered too, I had a video. My first video was Shane is mean to Ryland. Okay, Ryland, you're going to try and act like none of this never happened. The person who has a problem with Shane is you. Don't try to rewrite history. I'm wondering at this point if Shane already talked to Ryland about eloping, and so now Ryland is trying to play cool because Ryland is switching up on us right now. Don't try to pull one over on us over here. We know what's up, Ryland.
I'm just saying, like, you know,
Sorry,
like,
all of y'all are some friendless.
I feel attacked.
when you have a really good friend, you can like say things that are funny.
Roll the clip.
So thank you guys for doing this with me. Thank you, Jared, for pushing me to do this and inspiring me. And thank you, Chris, for just coming to set looking beautiful. And thank you to Ryland for
Here you go.
No, thank you to Ryland for being the asshole. I feel like it's fun.
Or for being supportive, or for
Supportive.
being loving, for
Loving.
showing up for you.
Totally. But also being that little bratty fucking asshole that we love.
So tell me, Ryland, why weren't you laughing?
And I think
and when you have a bad friend, you have to be dry and dull.
This one right here? This one right here, I've been holding my tongue on, and I don't know how much longer I can hold it. We shall see.
if you said something that was mean and
Okay.
we got in a real fight, I would cut it out of the video.
Here's what I will say though. When the camera turns on, I do like get lost in it and I kind of take on a bit or a persona or whatever.
Yeah, Shane, we know about your bits and your persona, and if I had the time, I would get into it right now. and I have before, how Shane sees the entire world in stereotypes. I'll probably get into it deeper at another time.
And I try not to do that anymore, but like with Chris, for example, like my bit with Chris is like I'm trying to fuck him really hard. But in real life, we're not doing that.
Okay, good to know.
Unfortunately. Yet.
Shane thinks he can pull one over on us. But look, watch this. I'll play your game, Shane. It's all a bit, right? That's what you say? Then please tell me, Shane, this bit that you do, are you the only one aware of what's going on? That it's all a joke? Why is Ryland complaining?
Wow.
Wow, it's right.
Yeah, that looks pretty serious, dude.
You wanna feel it?
Why
No.
am I turned on when you flip the knife
Shane.
out? What? Get a knife. Keep me interested.
Maybe that's the best way to do it.
What?
It means,
Oh my god!
oh, Chris, are you okay?
Oh my god, if you died, I die.
Ooh.
Sorry, Ryland.
Update, fashion update.
That was
Wow.
a banger. Oh my
So good.
god.
Kind of offended.
Why?
The only one without a shout out. It would be like rude of you to come at him when I already have another skinny person coming after my man.
Wait, why'd you look at me?
Whoa.
Every fucking podcast, you guys are flirting up a storm.
But let's just say you're gonna tell me now Ryland is in on the bit too. He's in on the joke. So then when Ryland is complaining, that's part of the joke. Okay, cool, I get it. Now tell me, is Chris in on the bit?
I love you.
I love you. The shoulders look really good. It looks like you like work out 24/7.
Wow.
This is so annoying.
My shoulders. In
My
the
heart
shoulders.
just stopped.
Well, no,
Like, I'm not even kidding.
I'm saying it's annoying because like he wants that compliment and then
Oh.
you gave it to him and now it's like I'm the bad boyfriend.
I want any
Oh
compliment.
my god, no, I'm sorry.
what do you mean?
Just the
Like-
shoulders. Do you know what I mean? How it has
Oh, okay, now I get it. Now you're gonna say that Ryland and Chris, you guys are all in on the bit because it's all jokes. So please tell me if this is the case. Is Chris's family in on the bit?
But somebody in your family, right? Like actually thinks that you're cheating on your boyfriend with me. And I was like, that's not funny. That's scary. What are we doing?
Well, shout out to Cassette. She sent me, she texted me a video from like a drama channel and she's like, people are talking about you. And I was like, what do you mean?
Okay, I get it. Now you're gonna say you, Ryland, Chris, and Chris's family is in on the bit. Got it. So let me know this. Is Chris's boyfriend in on the bit?
So now I guess your boyfriend assumed, and he saw you today, right? Dressed up, haircut, and he saw you walk in here and he was like, are you trying to find someone else? Like, what are you doing?
I think he was joking, but he saw me dressed up and my hair done. He was like, are you trying to find another chunky guy? Are you trying to replace me with another chunky guy?
Are you
Why
on the chase right
He's
now,
like,
dude?
where are you going? Why are you dressed up? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I thought so. Need I go on? Do you see how people waste our time? Have to go pulling out all these receipts?
And then, yeah, like me and you, like I'm kind of mean to you. You're kind of mean to me. But in real life, oh, I guess we do that.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the day. Every couple has their little tiffs and their little riffs, but we swim right through them.
You see how fast they try to gloss over that? No. We just heard you. First you said it's a bit, and now you're saying it's real, and that all couples go through it.
Ryland, what's your show insecurity?
My show insecurity. Well, you and I fight more when we're on camera, so like that's never good. And then people think like we have a toxic relationship because we are always like trying to be the most entertaining we can be if we're making something. And a lot of times that comes off as you and I picking on each other in a loving way, but it comes off very aggressive.
I think it's fun, and that's my toxic trait. And then, yeah, like me and you, like I'm kind of mean to you. You're kind of mean to me. But in real life, oh, I guess we do that.
Yeah, that's just what I thought. It's real what you guys are up to. There's no bit. Y'all made me waste my time pulling out all those receipts just to turn back and say, oh yeah, it's real. You see why it takes me so long to come up with videos?
Oh, I have an issue. This is in the similar path with YouTube because, okay, I had to take out the word, well, you can just bleep me because you're demonetized, but I had to take out the word fat from one of the Jeffrey videos because YouTube demonetized it. So I had to like take out the word and it was Jeffrey saying it about himself.
Right.
And then I was thinking like, wait a minute, isn't this kind of homophobic? Like to take away a gay person's right to say Like, right? Isn't that
Absolutely.
kind of weird, like that's. But I was like, who cares? I'm just gonna take it out. But it was interesting. And then in a podcast we did, we had to take out a word. I'm not gonna say it, but
that's the equivalent in
England or something. I feel like we need to have a revolution, and we need to take back our word.
Yeah. I mean, I've already been taking it back. I slang it out.
And
left
Lizzie,
right.
you can use it too.
Thank you.
Well,
Don't say that.
Y'all, I already went over this a couple of times before, and I'm not going to go through this again. I'll let y'all handle it.
do you have anything to say about our animal hoarding? What has it been like for you? No, because I have mental breakdowns a lot about it. I mean,
Ours is an angel reincarnation of another angel garbage can.
and I guess the alpacas were my fault as well.
Yes.
So
you're an animal hoarder too.
I know. I'm
So
not
Shane, how do you feel about
denying
his animal hoarding?
It's hard. I would rather. I feel like that isn't one of our issues.
it. What?
Animal hoarding. I feel like we both agree on it.
Oh.
Like we have other issues.
What are those issues?
Yeah.
Let's unpack.
I feel like every time I come on the podcast, it's just us talking about our issues.
What else are we going to do? I think family therapy helps everyone else in relationships out there.
I'm not a certified therapist, but I do enjoy making others' business my own.
Okay, let me think. What's the problem? Wait, what did we fight about recently? Oof.
You did tell me I needed to go to therapy.
I did.
Therapy, you say? All right, let's get into it.
I told him he needed to go to therapy
Yeah.
when he started.
I told Chris he needs a journal.
Wait, can we say this or no?
What? I don't know. I can't read your mind.
Say it!
Years ago, you did a brand deal for it.
Oh, yeah, go for it. I don't know what you're
Are you
talking
sure?
about. What is it?
So he did a brand deal for, this is a long time ago, for some therapy app or something. And he like showed me the video. He's like, tell me if any of this is boring. So I start watching the video and it starts with an ad and it's like, this app is a therapy app and blah, blah, blah. And then he says like, it changed my life. And he's like saying all these like, it was the best thing I've ever done for myself. And I can't even imagine that. And I was like, what the, you don't have that app. You've never even been to therapy.
Wow, Shane Spice just came out and said, that boy's a liar.
Dude, he does this to me all the time. I'm like, wow, so you really fuck with that? And he goes, oh, sorry.
But you took it out. I was like, you cannot say that.
No, I don't not use the products that we use, but sometimes I will oversell a little bit, and then that's when Lizzie will be like, what? And I'm like, oh, and you did the same to me
But it's only
too.
because you trick me.
Nah. Ryland, you're busted. And I wonder if when Shane just told a story that he told Ryland to take it out and Ryland took out overselling the sponsorship, I really wonder if Ryland took it out. You see how you can't trust a word of what these YouTubers are saying? Ryland was willing to send his supporters with mental health issues to a company he gave his approval to, but never used. Despicable.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I need that. That sounds great. And he likes it.
You
and he's
do
like,
need
I've
it.
never even smelled it. And I'm like, what? I just bought 10.
This is going to be a moment if you guys are dragging me in a bad way.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Nobody feels sorry for Ryland. Nobody feels sorry for him because didn't he just tell us that this is all jokes and we don't know what it's like to have good friends? So why are you complaining now, Ryland? I'm going to need you to stand in it. Your soon-to-be husband and best friend have no problem telling us that you have bad character. Please, Lizzie, Shane, tell us more. I too want to know what it's like to have good friends like you.
I can already envision what's going to happen as a result of this.
What's gonna happen, Ryland? You're afraid we're going to know the real you because one thing's for sure, you out of everyone there are always so concerned with how you come across to the public. I noticed this, which means you know you're a mess and instead of trying to work on yourself, you want the people around you to help you hide your true self. But not anymore. All your secrets are gonna come out today, courtesy of your good friends.
One of my favorite books on writing is by a woman named Anne Lamott, and it says, if people don't want you to talk about what they did, they shouldn't do it.
Well, if you
I'm
don't want
paraphrasing.
ads on this podcast, then you shouldn't be slandering
Ryland
the
loves
ads on our
every
podcast.
product we have ever
Loves therapy.
loves therapy.
Hey,
You can take this all as jokes, but if any of the YouTubers I actually like said something like this, it would turn me all the way off. I wouldn't trust them at all. Is it too much just to ask for a little bit of integrity as a YouTuber? Is that too much to ask?
No, I tried. I really did try, and I don't want to. I don't know.
No, you left therapy when you did it.
I yes, for the time being, I was going through something like very specific, so
Right.
it helped for that. But then when I got into like regular life after the hurdle, I didn't really know where to start, and she didn't really have any help in prompting it. And Shane, his thing would be like, bring up. And I'm like, bring up what? I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to get into his therapy. This is going to be good. All right, Ryland, tell us what's up.
The reason I brought up therapy to you is because you are not like a typical damaged, mentally ill person, such as the rest of the people in this room. And no, so you don't have like a bunch of trauma and a bunch of past, like all that stuff, right? But you do have issues in the present day that you don't know are issues because nobody around you is telling you it's an issue. And then I come along and say, hey, I think this is an issue.
I'm not mad at Shane for encouraging Ryland to go to therapy. And I like that he's not even suggesting couples therapy. No, he wants Ryland to seek out his own therapist. But as we can see here, Ryland is fighting him on this. So let's see why he isn't taking Shane's good advice.
And how would I bring that up to my therapist if I don't know that it's an issue?
Exactly, which is what I'm telling you. So now here, so your issue is, because we talked enough about mine.
For real. Remember last episode when Shane asked Ryland what his bad trait was? And like Ryland was giving little foo-foo answers? There was a moment where it seemed like Ryland and Shane were holding back, and now we know why.
Ryland, what's your toxic trait? I could answer this. What's your toxic
None.
trait?
I honestly don't know. What do you say? I would like your opinion, honestly.
Where do we start?
No, yeah, be honest. Tell me. Hit me with it.
I would say your toxic trait is, you get really moody, very princessy, very like if there's a plan and the plan doesn't happen, you are angry and then you don't let it go and it takes like 2 hours for you to have fun.
Yeah, and that is like a toxic trait that feels genetic in my family.
All right, everybody, let's see what Ryland was trying to keep hidden on the last podcast.
Your issue is you have a very big temper.
I do have a temper.
You have a lot of rage. And it's very fast. It comes out of nowhere. And yeah, you can't take any sort of criticism. You turn into a fight.
Whoa, Shane's been holding that in for a long time. Big temper, rage, and he turns everything into a fight. Y'all, you all. Had I known this, had I known what was going on behind closed doors, now I understand why Shane held off on getting married for so long. He had good reason to. Whoa.
I think I've gotten better on the criticism. I think with criticism, I've gotten better. But I am very strong-willed. No, I am.
Look at the faces that Shane and Chris made. That face means no. They don't think you've gotten better, Ryland. Ryland's trying to do all he can to pretend everything's fine just so that he doesn't have to confront his issues. He doesn't even know that Shane planned this. It's an intervention.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
No. What do you mean?
Is this a test? Are you testing it right now? Because I am triggered.
Oh, look, best friend Lizzie is jumping in on the pylon. Don't nobody feel sorry for Ryland. He really told us. That's what friends are for.
And I would say, I know the traits that you mean, but I will also say I've come such a long way since dating you. Like, I really was a monster, maybe.
Shane was skeptical at first, then started shaking his head in agreement. Don't believe Shane right now because remember, he already told us last episode that Ryland uses flattery to get the heat off him. Watch this.
I feel like you coming into my life at the time you did was pivotal for me in a lot of ways. Like, it broke a lot of
a lot of what was in those sorts of things. I feel like I would have been a lot more.
Is this manipulative?
That was so nice.
Because I feel like
No.
now he doesn't want me to say the next toxic trait.
No,
so
no,
he's
no.
saying something really nice.
Oh no!
We're on to you, Ryland.
When I met you,
Wait, really? What?
I would say in terms of like, I think you brought me a long way in like my emotional journey, my emotional availability. I feel like you coming into my life at the time you did was pivotal for me in a lot of ways. You don't think so?
No, I'm just kidding. No, you have.
I think you've changed, like you stopped me in a life path and like helped redirect me in a way for the positive, I think, to be more generous, to be more open, to be more emotionally available, to change my priorities.
Yeah, and maybe yes, and you changed me too, so I don't want to sound one-sided, and I would be dead without you.
Oh no, it worked. Ryland was able to dig his way out of the hole Shane and friends threw him in.
But what I will say
He always says that.
is, oh my God, I would. Are you kidding? Imagine
what?
Imagine me
Him without
alone.
you.
How about Shane the other night talking about if he ever died that he wants me to date again?
Yeah, I don't
I'm like,
need to
why
be
are you
alone.
telling me this? What prompted that?
We were watching a movie about it. Anyways, your rage. So I think that's the thing is, yes, you've changed so much as far as being generous and like being less like narcissistic or whatever. Not narcissist, but you know, like the traits.
Yes, the traits. Yeah.
So you've done better with that. But I think because of that, I think you have all this rage brewing. I mean, we haven't tapped into that.
Yes, keep your foot on his neck, Shane. Don't let him get out of it. Ryland, if you're telling us Shane helped you so much, well then why don't you let him help you again and do what he suggests and go to therapy?
I wouldn't disagree. And I would say, no, I'm serious. That's why I started meditating. And I think meditation has brought me a long way.
Are you really meditating or are you just taking an afternoon nap? The people want to know.
I also think I get frustrated when I haven't had time for me. And I feel like a lot of mornings recently, because our lives have been so chaotic with getting alpacas and then getting a cat and then having Riley get spayed or neutered or whatever it is for her gender. I just like a lot of the mornings are me running around feeling like a chicken with my head cut off for an hour. And then I'm like, oh, I've got to finish all of this work. And then I don't have time to work out. And then I just like, I'm short fused. And that is where I'm bad. If I don't achieve what I want in my day, I become very short fused.
Okay.
Nobody told you to get 10, 11 dogs, cats, and a couple of Chris's, Ryland. No one told you that. I cut it out earlier, but Ryland talked about how busy his days are with so many animals to feed in the morning. Ryland has some nerve blaming his animals. That rage is from within. And if he thinks a bunch of animals are hard to deal with, wait until the children come along.
There was a day where I got up early for no reason. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I did all the things, right? Like I helped you and I fed the dogs and I did all those things. But you still had a lot of anger that day.
About one specific thing.
I think that's a cop-out.
Give it to him, Shane. Can you all believe I'm cheering on Shane? Me? Shane is not gonna let you lie to your audience like you do with your sponsors, Ryland. Shane's like, not on my watch.
No, that was like...
I think the rage comes from somewhere else. And I want to know where it is because your childhood was perfect. So where is it coming from?
Tell me why Chris is loving this? I take issue with Shane saying Ryland's home life was perfect only because life isn't perfect. There may be things Ryland has never told Shane that he went through in his past. And if that's true, I'm not saying that Ryland has to tell Shane everything, but at the very least, he needs to really confront his anger. I don't care if there is no physical abuse involved. Shane shouldn't have to deal with Ryland yelling at him because things don't go his way. Remember, he said this.
If there's a plan and the plan doesn't happen, you are angry and then you don't let it go.
You see how now we get a clearer picture of what's really going on?
You know what I mean?
You're right. No, I don't know. Because I do. Some days I'm just on edge. And you get the brunt of it because I guess...
You're here.
You're here, yeah.
Okay, because I'm here, I get to be your emotional punching bag? Gee, thanks a lot.
And I think because my husband says the same thing. He's like, I get the nastiest side of you. And it's like, you're goddamn right you do. And if you can't handle that, you don't get the rest of it either, bitch.
Ugh, I can't take her. I really can't take her. You know what? I'm just not gonna say anything. You're lucky, Lizzie. Right now, I'm gonna bite my tongue. I'm letting you off the hook today.
What will trigger you into a spiral like that?
Oh, anything could. It's literally anything. Because that's probably why you and I are friends. Because I'm just sitting here, I'm like, wow, that sounds a lot like me. That's probably why I like him.
I truly feel sorry for you, Ryland, if that's your best friend. Really, I do.
But no, it can be as simple as like my friend James playing with the fucking center console in my car because it's broken. And I'll be like, just don't fucking touch it. It's broken. Like, don't you think?
I'm sorry for Ryland. I'm sorry for her husband. Who else do I need to be sorry for? Because I'm sorry for you too.
I also
And I do dumb bitch shit all the time where it's like anyone in the world could be like, Lizzie, have you ever had a thought? But when one person does one thing, it's like, put it together. Figure it out. And it's like, I don't know where that comes. Well, I do know where that comes from.
Okay, you know what? I might just even edit this whole thing out. I cannot take her. I just cannot take her. I can't take her.
Some of my aggression that I find fun, though, like I am entertained by a little bit of it, I'm saying stems from, for example, playing Mafia or playing a game where it requires there's a part of me that also enjoys.
Y'all, I was being funny before, but maybe this really is a setup, an intervention. Look how Chris and Shane exchange glances. And for real, I was shaking my head the same time as them. Because I picked up on Ryland's nonsense. He's saying his rage is okay because he only gets mad when playing Mafia. Nah. You're one of those guys who takes gameplay too seriously and then you suck all the fun out of it. But even beyond that, rage in a game is not what we're really talking about right now. This is something more serious.
Enjoys being feisty, a little bit aggressive, and like getting under somebody's skin.
That's why, didn't we talk about this last time? You always start a fight before we have sex.
Oh.
Every time.
Oh.
We'll literally be
Not like
on
real
the way.
fights.
It'll be
Not
one of those
real
things
fights.
where it's like, we should probably do it, right? Yeah. I'm walking up the stairs. And on the way to the stairs, he'll be like,
Well, not like,
so you're just going to leave those dishes in the fucking sink? And I'm like, I'll do them, and then
That's your dirty talk,
and then,
you fucking weirdo.
and then he's looking for the lube or whatever, and then he'll just be like, so like, you know, are we gonna watch a Lindsay Lohan movie tonight or not? Like, just, you know, and I'm just like, why are we doing this?
What do y'all want me to say? I know y'all not expecting me to comment right now.
So I think your rage combined with your needing to be angry during intercourse.
There's something wrong, bro. It's like maybe your parents were fighting, and like to drown it off, you're just like it off. Like I'm just like, I can't hear it because everything else is great.
Even her voice is grating to my ears. Somebody please help me. Please help me. Help me.
Like, I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Chris agrees.
No. I was like,
Chris is like me too.
no.
I only witnessed my parents fight once in my life.
So they were having a heated, respectful conversation.
They were just doing what we do every day about.
We do not
really
fight
dumb
every
shit.
day.
Well, you pick the fights, and then
Sometimes my fights that I pick aren't real, though. They're like fun.
No, here's the thing. What he'll do is he'll start a fight that's fun, right? He'll just, you know, like, you hate me, or like whatever. And then I'll start joining in on the fight. And then I'll start poking too. The second I poke back, he actually gets mad. And now it's a real fight.
This is why I don't play fight with people. I don't play fight with people. I don't play argue with people. If I fight you, it's going to be for real, and I don't fight. And if I argue with you, it's going to be for real. No play.
Depends.
And then I'm like, you
you're
started
crazy.
this.
No, I'm not.
But
This
why do
is-
you
No,
fight?
I'm not. Look at him not being able to take criticism.
Do you like makeup sex? Is that why you fight? Like, is that?
No, he likes
No, he
heated,
likes
hot, angry
angry.
sex. Yeah.
Angry.
Okay. Let's try and figure this out. Because for the life of me, I've been trying to understand why Ryland lets Shane talk to him the way he does. So is this the reason why he likes when Shane's mean to him? Is that the only way he can get in the mood? The problem here is that Shane thinks it's a problem. Chris used the term makeup sex, and Shane said no, it's angry. What do y'all make of this?
I'm learning.
Yeah, like with your grinder hookups, did you like fight with them?
You should have been like, well, this is really out of my fucking way.
There's so much adrenaline that you didn't have to. It is.
Oh,
you know
that's what it is. He needs the adrenaline.
Whoa.
We said a breakthrough.
Therapy.
Yeah. My rate just went up.
That was a breakthrough.
But what does
Oh
that
my
mean?
God.
What does that mean?
You're right, because it's never just like an in the moment, like, oh, we're like romantic, we love each other. There is an adrenaline something on your end.
This also explains why Shane keeps bringing up Grindr to Ryland.
You care about sex and it's a thing for you, but you're not like, you know.
It doesn't rule my life in any regard.
But then my question is, but in your grinder days, you were like a million people a day.
Shane's just trying to figure out what's going on in Ryland's head. I think it's funny how Ryland would always turn down his nose at Chris's revelations, only to have way more to analyze going down in his bedroom.
Whether it's a fight, whether it's like a, you know, we're in a car.
No,
or something,
sometimes
like
when you give me gifts.
Oh my God, this is not good for you.
I
I'm going to tell this story.
Well, no, maybe don't.
He gets very excited
There's
when I
a
give him presents.
lot of. I do.
I get that.
Like excited?
I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
And I'm
Yeah.
like-
I could get right now thinking about him giving me presents.
Whoa.
I don't know how much more of this I can take. I don't know why I need to know this.
Wow.
Just editing note, take that and put it somewhere. At the beginning of the episode or on your Instagram, somewhere. Okay.
We don't edit that hard over here.
Okay, because that was a moment. Yeah.
I pissed Joe off because this is fucked up, and Joe will hate that I heard it. Like I like that song, and someone's like, it's like
I bribe like thumbnails.
oh shit.
I'll be like,
Sometimes.
oh, like, you know, it's not even sex though. If I need something, I'll just like throw in like, well, do you need help with the thumbnail?
And I'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, I do.
And he'll be like,
What? I had something to say.
an
Too
apology?
bad. To all of us.
No, and
every
you know
single
what?
one of us.
I know we fight on this podcast, but I do think like other forms of media that we participate in doesn't show this element. Like, you know, so I think it's good to like highlight fights or things that we fight about or have.
It's real.
Yeah, Chris, we know it's real. They were the ones who were trying to convince us in the beginning of the show that it's all fake. We didn't believe them.
I think it's fun, and that's my toxic trait. Is I like fighting with you.
I mean,
Only though when people are watching.
yeah, it's not like we don't know. Fighting is my nightmare, but I like picking at Shane with my small annoyances throughout the day publicly. You know, it feels better that way.
Sounds healthy. What do you think, Chris? Out of curiosity, is that cool? Is that like a?
I mean,
what are your thoughts?
Seeing you guys from like an outside perspective, I can say that I think you're like a sweet, amazing couple. I see how in love you are. I see how wonderful you are together, off camera, outside of the fighting and stuff.
And I think the only
so when I see them fight, it's funny.
Yeah, and we hide it from you, really.
And I think the only reason it even works is because it's obviously a joke.
Right.
There's nothing funny about people really talking shit.
When we first pointed this out, this toxic behavior, all the way from the first episode, Shane Dawson fans was saying it's all jokes, it's not real, and isn't it funny? What do we find out now? It's real. There's real anger, temper, rage behind everything that's going on. And sometimes you can't just listen to what people are telling you. You have to watch and see what they're doing. If you're looking, it was obvious these two had something weird going on behind the scenes, and now we know what's up.
I think some fights are okay. Like, you know, as a married woman, sometimes I think to myself, like, is this fight worth having? And then it's like, if it's not, I'll get twice as mad at Joe if he's the one who's picked it. I'll be like, this is a waste of all of our fucking time.
You can't tell me that she wasn't a pirate in another life. All she needs is an eye patch and a parrot on her shoulder. Let's go.
Yes.
And then I can't handle it. Like Joe the other day was trying to put the dishes away and I was like, are you fucking broken? You're in here yelling at the dishwasher. You need to calm the fuck down. And it's like, girl, you were in another room. None of that was your business. And it's like, who's the problem now? Ryland.
she's a piece of work. I will never get what's so funny about being rude to someone who doesn't deserve it. I don't get the joke, nor do I want to get the joke.
While you're dragging me so much, don't you think we should drag you a little bit? I can't be the
Feel
bad
like
guy
I've got
always.
enough.
Where are we gonna drag him? Where's he going?
Yeah, how are you going to do that?
Well, what are aspects of our relationship that are your a problem in?
What, am I a problem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Ooh.
You're not perfect.
I'm not
You're
saying,
a great boyfriend.
I'm not saying
but-
I'm not. Here's what I'm saying, though. A few years ago, when you told me that I needed to get therapy because you didn't know how to deal with my issues,
Right.
I went to therapy, and I feel like I fixed most of them. So yeah, I'm just expecting the same return. But anyways, what am I?
Shane's not being unreasonable. If he was able to go to therapy and grow from the experience, I don't see why Ryland is fighting him so hard.
What are my current issues?
You get mad if I call you out on something.
No, it's the way you do it. So here's an example. If he wants me to do the dishes, I keep using dishes as an example, but if he wants me to do the dishes, instead of saying, hey, it would really help me, can you do the dishes? I'd be like, oh my God, yes. But instead he'll like say to Riley, is Dad gonna do the dishes? Or he'll be like, so are you gonna go do the dishes? And blah. Like, it's like weird.
Yeah, that is kind of annoying. Whose responsibility is it usually to do the dishes, though? Because Ryland, if you're always doing the dishes, you need to be upfront with telling Shane to do it when you need a break. Because you telling him in that weird way to do the dishes means to me that you usually do them. If you no longer want dish duty as your primary responsibility, you need to renegotiate your terms and make it 1 week on and off or something.
Sick. You're a sick, twisted
You
fuck.
cannot act like I'm sick here.
I can.
You've done crazier things.
No.
Yes.
No.
Every day,
My
sure.
husband's not here to attest to it.
I've gotten better, I will say, because when we got Riley, adding the third dog was difficult while she was really in her puppy stages. And because I'm up in the morning time, and you did come up with solutions. You were like, well, let her just get on my schedule and then I'll deal with, but I was like, the other dogs are already on my, it just wouldn't work.
Oh, I see what's going on here. People like this annoy me. Ryland complains that he's doing too much chores. Shane offers to help out. Then Ryland's like, oh, it's too difficult to change the schedules. I'll just do it. And everything will be fine until he starts to complain again, and then the cycle continues. This guy likes to argue for argument's sake. That's annoying.
So I got better at, instead of being passive aggressive when going to bed, asking you to take out the dogs like in a weird way. Now I would just be direct and say, hey, can you take out the dogs while I go get ready for bed?
Good boy. Somebody give Ryland a treat. He's learned to ask people for help when he needs it and to actually let them help when he needs it.
Yeah, I think that's something that's hard because I have expectations and I feel like I can get caught up in my expectations. And then if my expectations aren't met by my husband, he's in fucking trouble. Something that you haven't asked them to do that they're not aware of doing. It's not fair.
I agree. And our lives, the things that we do naturally are just very different from one another. Like neither of us are less helpful, but it's just in different regards. So sometimes I feel like,
look at Chris's face. He's got a story to tell. He knows what's up. Chris, I hope you didn't sign an NDA because I'm going to need you to spill your guts when the time comes.
I'm not getting enough of what I want help with.
I just love Chris's little looks to me because I don't know if it's to check my camera or if it's like he like gives me these little looks like I'm on your side.
Chris is like, I'd never do that to you, baby.
And I give him a look back like, I know, thanks. I'm on your side.
I mean, I will say, like, we've talked about this on your podcast, like, I don't know if it's a cancer thing, I don't know what it is, but, like, we're both, like, kind of, like, emotional and similar in a lot of ways, and, like, whenever you say something, you're like, oh, yeah, that's me in the relationship, sometimes you say things, and I'm like, that's me too.
Thank you.
So I just relate, that's all.
Don't get too comfy, Chris. Shane ends up marrying Ryland a couple of weeks after this episode airs.
Well, good luck to both of you. Put him back on mute.
I'd say overall you're a great boyfriend. I rate you 10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
He recommends you all the time.
Okay, Chris. So does your boyfriend try to fight with you for fun? Like do you relate to any of that?
For the first time, I don't have a problem with them asking Chris a personal question because Shane and Ryland did reveal a lot about themselves in this episode. So let's hear what Chris has to say.
I mean,
He never picks small fights.
I think like playfully sometimes, like not like a
But it doesn't-
real fight.
Yes, give it to them, Chris. Make it seem like their relationship is a mess and you can't relate. You know, the same thing they do to you when you reveal personal things about yourself. Yeah, give it back to them.
Well, no, my fights aren't meaning to be real, but then it will strike a chord, and then sometimes it will become real.
That has happened, but yeah, I mean, we do like say playfully mean things sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
But I was
I relate to that.
I mean, I felt justifiable in my like quick rage the other day. I don't know if we should get into our fight,
You might as well. I've got time today.
but
So I just also wanted to tack onto this. Like, we don't have like violent sex. I don't want you guys to think that like your parents watch this. Like, we're not. We're
not beating the shit
I'm not
out of each
beating the
other.
shit out of you and like
no.
we're not doing that.
No.
I mean, if you want to, let me know. But we're not doing that.
What you all said was enough, even without picturing physical violence.
Listen, it's all fun and games until somebody tells me to relax.
Whatever. We'll move on. What?
And they moved on.
So I don't know.
All right. Well, do we want to jump into the Instagram questions, or do you want to revisit what we said we were going to do last year on the podcast and see if we accomplished it?
What'd we do?
What'd we do?
What are you talking about?
We talked about what we wanted to accomplish this year.
Haven't felt Chris yet.
There's still time.
Right.
Okay.
Chris asked an interesting question in the break. He asked what it's like when we have angry sex.
Oh,
I was just wondering.
that's something you want to delve into?
Nope. I'm glad Ryland picked up on this because a lot of people would have overlooked that question. I understand Chris trying to mix it up for the podcast, but if I were Ryland, I wouldn't trust that question coming from Chris either. Let's see where this goes.
What's better, when you give me a gift sex or when I start a fake fight sex?
Oh yeah, is there a difference?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Are they exciting?
Well, you're more giving if there's a gift involved.
Jesus.
Oh wait, but when it's angry sex, like because you said it's not like abusive, but is it
No.
aggressive in any way, or is it like
There's
I
just
don't
like
know.
a
Why
tinge
do you
of a
want
fight
to
in the
know,
air.
Chris?
This is the first time Lizzie hasn't gotten on my nerves, but yeah, she picked up on it too. Y'all can't say I see things that aren't there. All of us in the know can sniff out what Chris is doing.
Because I love sex.
He might want to taste. Wow.
Sick. He's sick. The boy needs Jesus.
I love sex. I come from a German family, and sex is not a thing that is not like shunned in Germany like it is in America.
Oh.
Now, why you have to go and drag Germany into this? Germany is over there minding its own business, and here comes Chris using a whole entire country he's not even fluent in to excuse his instigating behavior. Don't fall for it, Ryland.
Take
not-
that.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
you-
you should take this open conversation to Germany then.
Yeah, you've turned down all of our advances. No, we don't want to have sex with Chris. But you can
Shane,
watch.
no, we're never welcoming a third. And no hate to those who do. Oh, please. You would be even... I'm against it, but you would be even more against it.
Wait, but you didn't answer the question.
What just happened here? That was weird. I feel as though this is a lot to unpack. And only because of time restraints, I'll leave it alone. But something tells me we will come back to this moment as the series progresses.
What was the question?
About the aggressive side.
Oh,
It's not aggressive.
Sorry. Yeah, no. I mean, I guess we can get kind of aggressive. Well, it's more me getting aggressive with you, but it's not like dangerous. It's not.
This is
gross.
making Lizzie uncomfortable.
This is making us all uncomfortable.
I have to go.
I mean, I feel like somebody as big as me and somebody as small as you, it's even if it's not on purpose, it's aggressive. Like, I feel like it's dangerous in general. So,
Chris flat out said he asked such an invasive question because he finds it arousing. And I'm paraphrasing. But you see here, Ryland tries to rewrite history with his answer.
About the aggressive side.
oh,
It's not aggressive.
Sorry.
And Shane gives enough detail for Chris, who likes beers, to fantasize about.
Sometimes I think if Joe died on top of me, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, well, I can't move this body. I say the same thing to Joe. Can you say one nice thing about me?
No, Ryland's version of a compliment is just not yelling at me.
Oh my gosh, you're making me out to be a monster.
I believe it now, Ryland. I believe it. All that anger Shane has for you on the podcast had to have come from somewhere, and now we all know where it's coming from. I'm not saying it's right, because it isn't. But now we can all clearly see you both are contributing to this toxic dynamic. Remember, I couldn't understand why Shane was always insulting Ryland, but I see whatever is happening off screen, that anger that they have towards each other, it spills over until the podcast. And I could see if Shane has some unresolved issues with Ryland, it's gonna come out in other ways.
Anyways, thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Chris.
They then go on to talk about a script that Lizzie is writing for a movie she will star in with Ryland. Look what happens here.
But that one's even absurd.
And I have I have like a romance arc.
Yeah, you have a real romance.
Are you going to have a problem with that?
I was just going to ask, would it bother either of you if the other one kissed someone for a role for a movie?
Who's surprised Chris asked that question? Raise your hand. Yep. Just what I thought. No one.
No, there's so many people on set, and it's so unromantic that it's like...
Okay, Ryland, famous last words. Want to make a bet right now? Chris is already writing a sketch where he kisses Shane.
Well, yeah, but sometimes, remember when we first started dating, I was kissing YouTubers in videos, and there was nobody on set. And you didn't care.
No.
Hey Chris, Ryland just gave you the green light to make a new video on your YouTube channel featuring Shane.
No, you can kiss anybody. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I'm not a jealous person. I wish you were a little more jealous. But you've gotten there. You've gotten there.
Shane is right. Jealousy is not in it of itself a bad emotion. It can be good or bad depending on the situation and how you deal with that emotion. For Ryland not to be jealous at all should be a bit concerning for Shane. But don't worry, Shane. Ryland knows who to be jealous of. I can't wait. We are about to enter the podcast episodes after Shane and Ryland's marriage, and believe me, you don't want to miss the fireworks coming up next.